Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's been some time now since I last played Sacred Fire. A viewer has requested I play Chapter 2 because Chapter 2 is now out. In truth, I had a period recently when I wasn't able to record very much, but I had lots of time when I couldn't record, when I could play. So I played Sacred Fire as a bit of a filler game to get me through those times. And I did play through Chapter 2, so this won't be a blind playthrough. I don't know if I'll try to repeat the steps I took last time, or if I'll go a different path, but if I do try and repeat past steps and things turn out differently, I'll enjoy it. Now, the first time I played a man, second time through I decided to play a woman. And I'm continuing from late in Act 1 because some of the stuff that is occurring here in Act 1 is relevant to Act 2. So this should be just after rescuing the prisoners from the Romans and heading off into the forest to hide. We are covered in bear poo because it was the best way of doing it last time. And I can't remember if this is before or after the fight with the Roman officer. I see we are wounded but not heavily wounded, so hard to say. Lots of motivation has been used though, so we might have gone through that fight. And the stranger, the Roman prisoner, broke away, was an important high strategic target for them. He ran off to make them chase after him instead of after the prisoners we were rescuing. Making use of the stranger's distraction, the whole group reaches the tree line. Once the rush of battle subsides, the pain from your wounds kicks in. Too right it should. The woman whose life you saved notices your discomfort and moves to dress your wounds. What do you do? I can get some nod and let her approach, so thank you. That's good, right? No, thanks, I'll do it myself, or I didn't ask for your help. It's going to be one of these two. I'll go with this. Trust might be slightly more important than sympathy further down the line. As she prepares the bandage, you can see she's confident in her actions. She must have done this many times. Her gentle and skillful care helps you shake off the tension from the fight. She finishes up quickly and, with a quick smile, returns to the others. For the first time, you know what Wid feels when everyone expects him to lead. And we have new insight unlocked about Wid, which would be, leading is hard. I can appreciate that. Now, what I'm going to do is go to that tab for a moment of people. Because there is new functionality on this tab. We have the existing characters who are main and core and central to the story, but now the enemies number and followers number are tabs to adjacent screens. So now we know the people we've rescued do not want war. The stranger freed your people. And Brian is clumsy but smart. Whereas over here, the Romans have been subjugated recently. The men fear the general. The general cares more about pets than men, which I'm putting down as a negative thing because it means he really treats his soldiers very badly. And the prisoner is valuable to Rome. Now, these are permanently available, whereas previously when we gained insights about these groups, we'd just occasionally get to view a screen with them on, and then we'd come back here and we wouldn't be able to get to access to that screen again. So as I said, new functionality. The weight of responsibility settles on your shoulders like a menhire. What do you do? Reminder, Lotus, yeah. So the same mechanics as before. I can use control to boost. And I'm being bothered at the moment. One moment. Now, spending control to increase success chances is great. If we max out control, if we max out motivation, because getting to 100% control converts to 1 point of motivation. If we max out motivation and we get another point of motivation from control, there's no benefit from that, like bonus experience points or something. It's just gone. So we are encouraged to use our motivation points, but keep some for emergencies. So we can look back and see what happened to the stranger. Look back to see if you're being pursued. Let's focus on escape. No, I'll look back and see what happened to the stranger. The general gives the order to execute him. The prisoner rises to his feet fearless. You cannot make out what he says, but the legionaries step back in awe. Dear developers, the Romans had legionaries. The French have legionnaires. The Romans never had legionnaires, the French never had legionaries. And yet this game consistently calls the Roman legionaries legionnaires throughout the entire game. It's a common mistake, and I know many people make it, but in a historical game where you're trying to like sell the immersion, I know it's heavily character driven, but please, 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 if you make one change to this game at all, just correct every instance of legionnaire and legionnaires to legionary and legionaries. Please. Thank you. The general looks outraged, but quickly regains control. For some reason, he orders the prisoner chained once more, but not killed. A new insight about the general has been unlocked. He can't kill the prisoner. Now, I could say like, oh, he's weak. Or I could be like, no, he's got a sense of honor and responsibility. That's a good thing. And now, if I go back to here and look at the enemies tab, I have the general can't kill the prisoner. So, useful information. The stranger seems to know exactly what he's doing. And yeah, he's building up a heroic reputation, and that's fine, right? I know that one of the focus of this game is trying to become the most famous legendary character, but hey, this guy deserves his reputation for what he's doing. What do we got? He's valuable to Rome. I don't know if we'll be able to free him at some point and he'll come under our friends and allies tab, and then all of his insights would shift to there. Additionally, if I had put goodwill points in to gain a positive understanding of one of these, and then that character dies, the thing just goes away. I've lost those points. I don't get to keep. I don't get handed them back to put somewhere else, I believe. You look the group over. They're battered and hungry, but you don't see any serious injuries. What do you do? Alright everyone, we have to keep moving. Follow me. They're not going to like that. Share food and water with them. That's really kind and generous and something we should probably do. We saved your lives, but now you're on your own. No! No, no, no. I'll even boost that. Your wealth is locked up in outfit upgrades. Do you want to unlock some wealth for this choice? Yes, let's do it. We don't have much. So we can... What's it? A bit of... Did I only have one upgrade? No, I had 2 upgrades. There we go. And she can still have nice hair. But she looks after very well. Right, so I was going to boost that. Gratitude is plain on their strained faces. Everyone shares the portions equally. You can see they will remain loyal under pressure. They're loyal to each other. That's great. And I should probably make a note of that. Well, I should probably get an understanding of they don't want war pretty quick when I get the chance. Also, I got something. Oh, right, because I got the outfit points. I don't think I can get anything for 20. 25, no. Oh, I can get this. Alright. Now, there's virtually no wealth points in the entirety of Act 2. And there's a few times where it feels like there should be some. So hopefully that's something that will get addressed in future. Because otherwise this whole wealth system, it's, you know, a 3-act story and you get some points in Act 1. None in Act 2. You're going into Act 3 with... You're not going to have very many of these options at all. It also gives you time to think. The Romans expect you to run up into the hills. There's a different route you can take, but it will be long and exhausting, but much safer. Both paths lead through dense woods. You need to know their condition. What do you do? Ask about a prisoner who set him free. Is anyone seriously injured? Inviting them to help gives them agency and makes them feel appreciated and valued, right? But I'll go with this. They do have a healer among their number, but I should show concern. I've chosen to play a more honourable, noble character this time, with high ideals and morals. It does mean you get your ass kicked in virtually every fight, though. The fights are really hard, by the way. I'll get onto that when the next fight turns up, basically. Is anyone seriously injured? Oh, you care about these people, but you'll look foolish if you offer help and cannot provide it, so you waver. No, I'm gonna try again. No one speaks up. You remember Hadrian is injured. It might be best if you let her set the pace, but can you trust her? Yes, she's a professional. She's a member of the King's Guard. Hadrian, are you all right?
I'm fine. Let's go.
Hadrian replies quietly to your surprise. So now, NPCs are voiced. And that will make commentary and narration a little more complicated, but hopefully not too much. We should comment on this chap with his very modern hairstyle. Hairstyles in this portion of the world, at this point in time, were generally the same length all over unless you had a fringe. That being said, the Celtic hairstyles were a little more extravagant. They used to grease their hair up and spike into spikes with, like, animal fat and stuff sometimes. Let's see, though. What do you do? I will ask about a prisoner who set him free. You're intrigued by the enigmatic stranger, but you need to get moving. You don't have time to dwell on details. You're absolutely wrong. I do have time to dwell on details. Oh! Alright, fine. I will boost it then.
He's a Roman, but he treated our wounds. He is a skilled healer.
An older man speaks up. New insight. He's a skillful healer. There we go. How do you react? Tell me more about him.
He was already fettered when they captured us. He doesn't look dangerous, yet there was a 2-man guard on him at all times.
Why would a Roman risk his life to set you free?
I have no idea, but he doesn't look insane to me. Anyone can see he knows what he's doing.
No one else speaks up, but you can see the stranger made a strong impression upon them. I'm going to boost this. That's a big boost, I'll take it.
I've evaded the Romans before. They'll expect us to go up into the hills. We must take a different route.
Yes, we must take a different route. It would be nice to get her involved, but she's really angry at the moment. Fine, that's what we'll do. It feels strange to have so many people following your command. You notice Talon the Eagle is getting restless. We can send him ahead to scout, or keep him with us. If we send him flying up to scout, the Romans might notice him and realise we're in the area. And Attain will respect us if we don't use him like that. So I think we won't. That is wise. The Roman general would undoubtedly love to avenge his dogs, and Talon would make a prime target. Decide who will take the vanguard. I can't remember, is the vanguard in the front or the back? The van is... No, that's like a rear guard, isn't it? So yeah, vanguard is in the front. Well, she won't like it if I say this. I'll get good renown if I say this. I'll pump it to a... right up to 100. Okay, Attain, lead the way. I'll bring up the rear. You can see the others agree with your call. I'll risk one look back at the enemy. You see they're splitting up into smaller groups to cover more ground. This is bad for you. More groups means you're more likely to run into one of them, but it also means there will be smaller groups. There is much on your mind as you head for the detour through the forest. How do you feel about Attain putting everyone in danger? She should talk to me about it, maybe. I can't trust her anymore. No, I trust her. Look, she went for the kill without counting the cost. She was angry. She wanted to take out the general who's caused us such a hard time in the past. But she is a friend, and I shouldn't blame her too much, especially as I'm likely to rely on her in the future. Hurt is negative, yeah, mistrust is negative. Do I admire the fact that she threw caution to the winds and didn't mind if she was going to die, she was going to try and take him out? It is brave and admirable, but I could also try and get this roll with a boost. You do your best to distract yourself. You think about the escaped slaves. Why did you let them accompany you? Look, they'll have a better chance of us. I'm not going to just let them wander around and get captured or killed.
Why did you let me stay?
Your thoughts are interrupted when Luan surprises you by asking, "Why did you let me stay?" I could see it was what you wanted. -1 to her shame would be good. You're proving useful in a fight. Too stubborn to argue with. You're fun to be... Why would she be shameful about that? Why would she be like, oh... Why would she feel like she's being blamed or something, or has no skill or talent? So we want to make her feel... Because she's a bit of an outsider. She doesn't feel very welcome. We want to change that. Because that might make her better at integration with other groups in the future. So I am actually going to go with this to try and help her. Look, you proved you could be useful in the fight back there, so we got to have you with us, kid.
Why did that Roman risk his life for our people?
She pauses a moment before asking another question. I have no idea. It just doesn't make any sense, and get up on a rage! Which would probably actually help in some of the fights, to be honest. Look, yeah, there's good people on both sides, right? The Romans aren't all bad. Maybe he's chasing after death. Maybe he's simply got... No, I'm going to say, look, there's good Romans and bad Romans. You know, they're not all horrible. Everyone seems to have a lot on their minds, and the group advances in somber silence. Your followers are scared, shooting glances in every direction. It takes a long time to reach the forest, but once you're under the cover of the trees, everyone breathes a little easier. Chapter 7. Ghost. So I could have... So I literally rewound my new replay to that point, and I could have done it here, but I wanted to include some of that stuff there because it was kind of useful. I'll play on a little, right? I'll try and get to the end of Act 1 or close to it in this video, which means this one will probably run a bit long. Etain raises her hand and the group falls silent. What do you do? Stay quiet and listen, obviously. You stay still and focus, but don't hear anything unusual, in which case she'll probably let us know what we need to. The forest is eerily silent, but this could be because of your presence rather than a sign of someone else nearby. Your followers' anxiety is tangible. You realize that they look to you for guidance. What do you do? Take a step further to see better? Remain as you are? I'll try to calm them down. They relax and you're surprised how good it feels to wield authority. I think I went with the first one. Yeah, take a step further to see better. An angry buzz splits the air and an arrow is quivering in the trunk of the tree directly in front of you. Spot the archer, examine the arrow, go back and hide. I'll go for examine the arrow. Your intuition tells you the arrow was meant to warn you off, not harm you. I will go back and hide. You dart back into the cover of the trees. Questions about this archer are swirling in your head when you hear more noises. I think I might have collected the arrow last time. The group follows your lead, masking their tracks behind them as they slip into the cover of the trees. Luckily the ground here is quite rocky, so it's short work to eliminate your trail. You hunker down out of sight. You hear two separate parties approaching from opposite directions. When they meet, each immediately accuses the other of letting you slip away. One of the slavers, a short man, points to the arrow. By leaving it there, you may have gotten everyone killed. Oh dear. How do you deal with the guilt? I'm not worthy to lead. We all make mistakes. I'll protect people in my life if I must. The slavers begin to silently comb the area. So the fear is becoming a massive problem. I will rebalance that fear because it's going to make the dice rolls very difficult. To your dismay, the short one is heading in your direction. What do you do? Lead the slavers away. I'll prepare to take him out as quietly as I can. Preferably knocking him out rather than killing him. Before you start to move, an arrow pings off his arm guard. He cries out in panic and points in the direction of the hidden archer. Every slaver but him takes off up the slope towards the ridge. He stays where he is, possibly in shock. What do you do? Knock him out. You knock him unconscious without any fuss.
Why the hell would you do that? He would have left with the others.
Etain hisses at you once the slavers have disappeared from sight. I could apologize. There's no time to argue. We need to make haste. No, enough time. You're hectoring. Look, I'm sorry. Etain doesn't react, but simply resumes walking in the same direction as before. The slavers' jabbering fades into the distance. Whoever lured them away did a good job. If it wasn't for the mysterious archer, you might have already been all captured. You can pretty much take the word all out of that sentence there, I think. You walk until nightfall, then find a resting place that feels safe. Hike feels like such a modern word. Unless you're like hiking up skirts or something, you know. What do you do? I can volunteer to take the first watch. Put Etain in charge. She's wounded, so it would be better. Look, she'd like first watch, and people would respect her if she took first watch. But she is wounded and she will appreciate the opportunity to recover later when she's feeling a bit better. Ask the child. That's a really difficult one. Okay, that's a lot of guilt. And fear. I'm going to try this without the boost. Not a word of thanks from anyone. They all take it for granted you'll make the sacrifice. How do you feel about this? Ungrateful layabouts. Look, they're exhausted. They need to rest, okay? To lead is to serve. I'll go with this. You get ready for a very cold night. You can't risk a fire. Chapter end. Hooray! We got stuff. Act 1 ending. A leader in the making. Now, this has changed a little bit. So with Renown, we can up another title. Cara the Calm, Cara the Strong. Strong gives Intimidate, which is pretty good already. Soothe and Encourage. Provoke is the one we're really missing. Encourage is Intimidate and Encourage. Okay, so we go with the Swift. Now, we will reach a point late in Act 2 when we've filled all of these and we're still getting points and we've got nothing to put them in. So we will hopefully get more titles in the future. And here, that's a lot of points. Okay. People do not want war. They're loyal to each other. Stranger is a skilled healer. Stranger freed our people. Brian is clumsy but smart. I'm not sure how that's going to help us going forwards. Our enemies. I probably shouldn't put too much into these because I could lose them. I'd like to put a positive insight on that, but I'm not going to. Now, I'm going to hold on to these points for a little while. It would be nice to spend some on Attain and Wid. We might need to spend some for Igraine, to be honest. What have we got here? She will do anything to gain power. She values her healer reputation. She blames a Wid for losing influence. Because something. She's being ostracized. She has a hideout. Attention frightens her. She doesn't expect help. She wants to belong. I'm going to put that in there. She likes Brian. I could put something in there, or I could think Weed is a good brother. He deserves some more points. We have he feels protective of Attain. He completely trusts me. Leading is hard. You know what? Both of these are worthy of understanding. Friendship and hostility. Friendship and hostility. Experience points. Experience points. So maybe I should be boosting these for the experience first. There we go. Just so I can level a little bit quicker. Mindset, what do we got? I'm incomplete. I can't trust anyone. I'm not good around people. Don't have what it takes. We're all alone in the end, and I'm not in control. So I can boost one of these. I don't have what it takes is fear and solo. Blocks and friendship. Blocks and friendship. So these are the same. All of these are the same. You know what? One of these two has got to go up. Abandoned by friends, pushed around by your own people, and hunted by enemies. Or often found that friends misunderstood and even reject you, and how little things spiral out of control. So I'll boost this one first, so I can like make personal friends and then like group respect and stuff. And as for outfit points, I don't think we're going to see more than 4 or 5 more points of wealth until the end of the act. This is a reward section where we get to go through and do some stuff and set ourselves up for the next act. This portion here is now quite different to how it was at the end of the last time I played, when we only had Act 1 available. When you're finally able to relax and gaze up at the stars, a new resolve forms in your mind. This is a day to remember and build on. This is a day that made you stronger. To what will you direct your inner strength? 6 rewards! Great! Images of your mistakes and failings torment your mind, so you channel your strength into self-compassion, which will reduce guilt, or perfectionism, which will give us an increased maximum motivation. Well, guilt is getting pretty high at a 7. And we do gain additional motivation every time we reach a level, right? Or is it ranks give motivation? Yeah, levels give motivation, so we don't need much more motivation. Getting that guilt down would probably help. Your mind is brimming with energy, so you decide to perfect your sword fighting routine, focusing on offense or defense, so strength or agility. Well, strength is 4, agility is 6. In the upcoming fights in Act 2, and indeed the fights in Act 1, it's very hard to outright defeat a foe or slay them. There's a lot of very defensive combat based around preventing yourself from getting killed, taunting, antagonizing, trying to trick the opponent into making mistakes and then capitalizing on them. It was, however, incredibly hard to try and land blows, so I think I will go... Last time I think I went with the defense for increased survivability, and that really helped quite a bit, but I think a little bit of offense would probably help. The possibility you could rise to real greatness enters your mind. You channel your strength into imagining yourself as a renowned hero or a respectable peacemaker. Yeah, sure. You reflect how important it is to have the ability to read people. You channel your strength into understanding a little more about myself or others. Empathy and addictions. Empathy's good. Addictions is kind... So addictions, memories of intense experiences, distract from physical and emotional pain, but they do occupy your mind, making everything and everyone else more blatant. So, empathy, motivational points, and all skills increase. Fear, anger, and blocks resistance go down. Pain and blocks resistance go up. Pain's over there on the right, and blocks there, yeah, okay. Encourage, soothe, and morale points go down. So by lowering addictions, I would be increasing pain and blocks, reducing encourage. I've got good encourage and soothe anyway, and so these over here are looking reasonably good. I think I will try to understand others a bit better, and maybe I'll come to understand they haven't been treating me quite so badly after all. A fugitive memory of your father comes to mind, but this time you use your strength to capture it. You recall her vividly, playing against the wind. Wait, father? Was there a fugitive memory of your mother comes to mind. Good. That makes more sense. Embrace her values to increase ideals or treasure that memory. Ideals is already pretty high. I think I got it up to about a 17 by the end of Act 2, maybe even an 18. Whereas, reducing trauma... Trauma's already pretty low, but anything that would improve resistances, so that would improve fear, pain, and blocks resistance, would be rather good. Sure. Dread of your own mortality rises within you, but you use your strength to hold it at bay and focus on the good you did or how lucky you are, the favour of the gods. I would like to boost that favour, so I will go with that. How would you like to use your influence? It's the influence parts here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 different options. I think I could go with 2 of each. Your resting place is next to a patch of edible berries and surrounded by night-blooming flowers. You decide to give it a bouquet of flowers or a bowl of berries. Can I check her negative experiences. Okay, pain resistance. Positive. Not sure. Oh, is it here? It's here, right. So we have sympathy and blocks. Yeah, getting those blocks down would probably help a lot, to be honest. Sympathy 11 is pretty good already. So sure, we'll get her a bowl of berries. How would you like to use your influence? Well, I'll approach Luan. Luan sits bolt upright, startled awake from a nightmare. She averts her eyes, ashamed you saw her so vulnerable. Tell her about my own nightmares, or comfort her to gain some trust? Blocks aren't so bad, right? And getting that trust up... Oh, that is low trust. Sure. I'll comfort her. You notice the older man is silently going through a training routine. Try it out or observe. Intellect at a 7, endurance at a 4. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Prepare to strengthen your standing with Igraine, because she's a total... Well, Wid and Igraine, I can do both, right? Your thoughts circle back to your talk to Wid the night before. You're inspired to craft a fable about 2 siblings' loyalty, or a wooden figure of Wid protecting a girl. Is that my renown or his? Probably mine. I will prepare to work with Igraine. Everyone? Ooh. Igraine's venom is hard to forget. You channel those memories into crafting a fable exposing her weaknesses. A fable celebrating the orphans. She does have a strong hold over them, and she's quite a nasty person, to be honest. Followers minus. Sure. Etain seems to be in a bad place, and to your surprise beckons you to keep her company. You distract her with stories. From our mutual past, or from our recent life. Hey, childhood stories, fond memories. Prepare to strengthen your standing with... Look, I'm going to click everyone, right? That's got to be interesting. As you clean the blood from your outfit, you're reminded of your ancient lineage. You're inspired to craft a story about your bloodline or a unique symbol, renown multiplier. Yeah, sure. 1 left. Approach followers or Luan. Or absent characters. No, sure. I'll talk to the poor girl. Pale moonlight illuminates Luan's sleeping form. You notice she's clutching a dagger. You're inspired to craft a figure of her stabbing a leaping dog or an armband of friendship. You know what? That would be really hard to craft. But again, overall, her blocks are like just, you know, free shame but one everything else. So knocking a point off one of those, not too bad. And over here, getting that trust up from a 4 seems pretty important. And we're now at chapter 8, which will be in the next video. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I do look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'm going to say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.